For 90-Day Fiancé cast members, family is often extremely important, and it's not uncommon for parents to have great influence over the franchise stars. Sometimes, that influence is helpful. Other times, the influence can be toxic. But in either case, cast members are often reluctant to say no to the people who raised them. A lot of family members are supportive of 90-Day Fiancé stars' decisions, though they generally don't hesitate to offer their advice. However, some cast members defer to their parents more than others, and it can form a pattern of behavior that gives their parents too much influence on their lives. The 90-Day Fiancé cast members are generally in unusual situations, so concerned parents are a common storyline in the franchise. Parents will often express hesitation towards their child's significant other, and these cast members' parents are especially meddlesome. The cast members below don't do a great job asserting their independence, but it's hard to stand up to the people who birthed you. Colt Johnson. Colt gained a reputation as a mama's boy from the very start of his 90-Day Fiancé journey, and that's fine by him. The Nevada native has lived with his mother Debbie for years, and it's safe to say she has a lot of influence over him. He certainly followed Debbie's advice by breaking up with his ex-wife Larissa Lima. Though Colt doesn't always do what his mother says, he usually checks with her first. Colt has said he'll never abandon Debbie, but with him married again and Debbie going on 90-day, the single life, he'll hopefully at least be moving out. Alina. From what viewers have seen on 90-Day Fiancé, the other way, Alina is obviously very close with her mother Anna. The young Russian regularly confides in her mom and asks her for advice, so Alina's mom is definitely a big part of her life. Anna convinced her daughter to bring her along on her first date with Stephen Johnston because Anna was worried that as a Mormon, he was a cult member and an organ thief. Alina's mom isn't a big fan of Stephen's, and she could convince her daughter to dump him. Brandon Gibbs. Throughout his time on 90-Day Fiancé and 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Brandon's meddlesome parents Ron and Betty were a common issue. His wife Julia Trubkina was clearly annoyed with how much influence Ron and Betty have on Brandon, and she wants to move as far away from their farm as possible. Ron and Betty have kept Brandon in a bit of an arrested development, but now that he's married and moved out of the house, their control over their son has begun to weaken. Sumit Singh. In Indian culture, parents generally have a strong influence over their children well into adulthood, but even when taking those cultural differences into account, Sumit has no backbone when it comes to his parents. At first, Sumit lied to his parents about his relationship with Jenny Slaton because he knew they would disapprove. It's also largely been because of their insistence that he hasn't gotten married to Jenny. Now, Sumit's parents are moving in with him and their influence over him is only going to get stronger. Elizabeth Pothist. Elizabeth's father Chuck controls the family business, a business that Elizabeth's husband Andre Kastravat wants a piece of, so it makes sense that they would follow Chuck's lead. Even when Chuck comes up with terrible ideas, like a road trip with his squabbling family, Elizabeth and Andre will go along with it. Obviously, as long as Chuck is the head of the family business, he'll have a lot of influence over his kids who want a piece of the Pothist pie. Asuelu Palaa. Asuelu's mother Lucina has caused major friction in his family. Though he has gotten better at standing up to her, that hasn't always been the case. In the past, Asuelu's mom has said he should divorce Kalani and start a new family with a more traditional Samoan girl. It's clear Asuelu has a hard time standing up to his mother, even when she actively insults his wife. However, in the last season of Happily Ever After, Asuelu kicked Lucina out of the house after she caused trouble at Christmas, so maybe there's hope for Asuelu. Jovi Dufresne. Though Jovi has gotten a lot of criticism from 90 Day Fiancé fans, his mother Gwen is praised for her wisdom and patience. When Jovi welcomed his first child, Mila, it made sense that he would often default to Gwen's years of experience when it comes to raising children. Though he was resistant to fatherhood at first, Jovi grew to appreciate his mother Gwen's advice and welcomed her input. As Mila grows up, Jovi will likely grow more confident in his parenting abilities, but he still has backup in Gwen. Yazan Abu Huraira. Family is extremely important in Muslim countries, so it makes sense that Yazan would follow the wishes of his parents. When he dated Brittany Banks, Yazan's family definitely wasn't happy. After reaching their breaking point in feeling that Brittany was disrespectful, Yazan's father gave him an ultimatum. Yazan was kicked out of the house for not breaking up with Brittany, but eventually, their relationship fizzled out and Yazan returned to the family home dedicated to becoming a better son. The pressure Yazan's Muslim family put on him led him to marry a Muslim girl. Though Yazan seems happy, it's clear his parents have a lot of influence over him. The 90 Day Fiancé franchise is full of helpful parents, as well as parents whose overbearing brand of love may not be helpful. Most of the time, such parents mean well and treasure the relationship they have with their children. However, sometimes they have too much influence over their children's decisions, and these cast members might want to stand up to their folks every now and then.